this is authentic first impressions in the 2022 Subaru BRZ. Cameras are rocking, so you guys can come along. I haven't heard the exhaust yet. I haven't driven more than just like parking the car in front of the dealership. We're gonna drive to a nearby park and hope that we can find a cool spot to shoot some photos.
2.4 kilometers. Turn left on 55th.
We've got the World Rally Blue color, which I think pops off really, really nicely. I think it's a good color to photograph. It has been so long since Subaru has updated their vehicles, so this 2022, to me, fully lives up to what I was hoping for and expecting. Of course, everyone wanted that turbo, but this to me, I think it's still naturally aspirated. It's really, really nice. The engine sound is piped in a little bit, and I think it sounds pretty good. The looks of this car, of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so everyone's gonna have a different idea of what this car is to them. But if it's anything like the previous gen, you're gonna be able to make this your own car, regardless of how you like how it naturally looks. There's gonna be body kits coming out. There's gonna be all different kinds of things you can do to make this your own, and that's what kind of draws a lot of people to this car brand, to this car specifically. Now, because this isn't my car and this is not a media car, I'm not really able to put this thing through the paces, so bear with me. We're just going to do a bit of daily driving and see how it feels on the road. Of course, someone else may be buying this vehicle, maybe, but either way, I won't be ripping on this. We want to respect the car, make sure that we break it in properly. When you put it into track mode, you get that nice new dash, which is kind of cool. It's a lot more sporty.
In 1.8 kilometers, turn left on 40th Avenue.
I do think you can tell it sounds a little bit throatier, which is nice. Like, it's a bit deeper, and I think that's what we get from the 2.4 liter displacement instead of the 2 liter. It feels nice and rigid. The big thing that I was curious about as a 6'1" person is how well do I fit in here, and with the seat all the way down, I've got quite a bit of room. Obviously, they make and design this car so you got room for a helmet for guys like me. And again, I'm not the skinniest either, and I was curious about the bolstering, and the bolstering is pretty great. I don't feel squished at all. I feel hugged, whereas like maybe something like the Ford Focus, like the RS, that one really felt like it was kind of squeezing, whereas this I think will be a much more comfortable seat long term. The shifting feels really precise. They do market this as a nice short shift. I wouldn't say it's super short, but it does feel really nice and notchy, very affirmative. Here it is. This is the 2022 Subaru BRZ, and we've got the Sport Tech Edition in World Rally Blue. I personally am a huge fan of the BRZ styling. I know a lot of the internet says the 8.6 might be the way to go, but one thing that sets it apart for me is in the headlights. I actually really prefer the headlight design. I think it looks a little bit sharper on the BRZ than the Toyota 86. And of course, the grille is different. It's a lot different on this from the 8.6, but I personally don't mind it. It would be nice, you can see in the STI models, they have kind of the LED things here, but like everything with these cars, we know you're gonna be able to style them however you want. It's great to know that all of the grille designs are actually active, that you can actually use them. Air does go through them and have some form of function. One thing for me with these cars that I think obviously will be addressed by most of these owners is suspension. I do think that the gap here is quite high, but of course most owners will sort that out on their own. But I do like the wheel and rim package. These are the 18-inch rims with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. And here's kind of the main major design area of the car, how this kind of swoops up there. I kind of like it. This thing, I think, is super smart. What this kind of, in my opinion, allows you to do is kind of make beefier tires, because there's a lot of gap there with the tires. So once you put some beefy tires on, you can extend that out quite a bit, and that's gonna really help with the stance of the car and making it look a lot nicer. Now, to me, the rear of the car, I always got Acura NSX vibes. It's one of my, personally, my favorite design aspects of the car. I think it looks really slick, really sporty. This car is beautiful, and the weather actually turned out quite nice. The sun's kind of dipping behind some clouds and stuff, so Turned out really, really good. I think we're getting some shots. I'm not super excited about this location. Lots of dead trees, a little bit of snow. So I'm gonna go and try and find something a little bit more industrial. But up to now, I'm actually super impressed with the freewell filters. This CPL filter, I've typically never really noticed a big difference between CPL filters, but this one actually is cutting reflections really, really well. All right, so we are gonna head to one more location before we gotta drop the car off because we only have a very short amount of time with this car, which leads me to the incredible Scott Subaru here in Red Deer. Thank you guys so much for allowing me some time with this car. I wanna know if you guys are interested in this car down in the comments below. I think this type of car could be a great YouTube type car, something we can build, take photos of on a regular basis. I love teaching you guys how to do photography, whether it's lens filters or which lenses to use or which cameras to use. So if you're into that kind of stuff, do subscribe. But I do think this car could be a really good option for us. So let me know what you guys think down below. And again, huge shout out to Scott Subaru here in Red Deer. They have all been super cool and really, really easy to work with. So if you're in the Edmonton, Calgary, Red Deer area and you're looking for a Subaru, maybe you should hit them up. But we are gonna head to one final location. And one thing I wanted to show you guys here with the Subaru that you should probably take a quick note of is how annoying the seatbelt sensor is. Listen to this. You get going for a little bit, it starts chiming. That's pretty standard, you know, a little standard seatbelt chime. Just, oh, hey, you should put your seatbelt on. But wait for it. It gets insane. Wait for it. Oh, there it is. It's so freaking loud. So make sure you put your seatbelt on. All right, we're gonna give her a little bit of beans here just to get a vibe for it. Yeah, she good. She's not like spicy, but like this is way better than what it was previously in that you don't have to wait for the power to come on. The power is already there. This thing is just like ready to rock and roll. What I love about this car is genuinely just a connected driver's car. You feel in tune with the car, the steering points where you want to go. It's fast enough, the clutch feels good, it's not too intense or heavy, and you can upgrade that if you want to do a bit more of like a racing clutch, those kind of things. And that's the beauty of this platform, is that it is so personalizable. You can make it your own, and I'm super excited for the people that do get this car or the 8.6 to see what people can do with the platform. The upgrades that have been done to this car are certainly enough to entice a lot of new young drivers, old drivers, driving enthusiast people that just want to maintain driving a car that is sporty and fun and engaging. And the more that we get into kind of this electric era where everyone's coming out with electric cars, this is one of those cars that might be on the list to get. The low end torque in second gear, just kind of coming out of a right turn, feels real nice. Plenty there to get you going. I'm actually quite surprised with the suspension as well. I was thinking that this would be a stiffer feeling setup, but it's actually quite nice. I'm not feeling like I'm being thrown around anywhere. It feels quite comfortable. Man, I would love to own this car. Shoot. All right, so here are some of my final thoughts as I drop the Subaru back off at Scott Subaru here in Red Deer. I want it. I definitely want this car. It's super sweet. It's great to photograph. It'd be super fun to upgrade. It'd be nice to trade that guy in for that guy, you know? That's what I'm driving now. This is what I'd like to drive. It'd be a lot more fun. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think if this would be a good YouTube car for us to have on the channel? Thank you so much to Scott Subaru for allowing me the opportunity to shoot this car. It's a blast and it looks great, and I don't know, maybe it's love. So as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're into this kind of content, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace, guys.